Sometimes a country sets its sights so high, the entire world takes notice. Right now, that country is Egypt. Known for its deserts and ancient wonders, it is now racing to build futuristic cities, high-speed railways, and colossal landmarks that carry a combined price tag of more than $170 billion. Egypt's new direction. For decades, Egypt has carried two very different images. On one side, it is the land of the pyramids, temples, and timeless desert landscapes. On the other, it is a nation wrestling with heavy debt, high poverty levels, and the struggles of a rapidly growing population. Yet in the middle of these challenges, the government has set in motion one of the boldest development drives in its history. At the heart of this transformation is a national strategy called Egypt Vision 2030. This long-term plan aims to lift the economy, improve people's daily lives, and project Egypt onto the world stage as a hub of tourism, trade, and industry. The vision is built on three key foundations: economic development, social progress, and environmental sustainability. But in practice, most of the attention and investment so far has flowed into the first pillar, building new cities, new industries, and infrastructure strong enough to attract billions of dollars in foreign money. New Alamein City. One of the first places where this new Egypt is taking shape is New Alamein City, a vast development on the northern coast. For history buffs, the area of Alamein is remembered as a decisive World War II battleground. Today, the sand has been replaced with construction cranes, luxury hotels, and an expanding skyline. The city is designed not just as a resort, but as a place where millions can live, work, and invest. By 2030, the government hopes 3 million residents will call New Alamein home. Already there are 15,000 hotel rooms, luxury villas on reclaimed land, and a 14-kilometer promenade along the Mediterranean coast. To boost its appeal even further, developers are building massive crystal lagoons, creating an atmosphere closer to a tropical escape than a desert settlement. It isn't just tourists coming in. For the past 2 years, the city has hosted the New Alamein Festival, attracting visitors from across the region and driving up real estate values. In the downtown district, 4 high-rise residential towers already dominate the skyline, along with a striking skyscraper rising 300 meters into the air. This project alone demonstrates what Egypt wants to achieve: turn its deserts into hubs that rival tourist hotspots like Italy's Amalfi Coast or the Greek islands. Ras El Hekma. Just west of New Alamein lies Ras El Hekma, another coastal stretch that has become the centerpiece of Egypt's future plans. Until recently, Ras El Hekma was best known for its olive groves, fig farms, and quiet, untouched beaches. Fewer than 10,000 people lived in the area, but in 2024, everything changed with the signing of a $35 billion deal with the United Arab Emirates Sovereign Wealth Fund. This agreement is the single largest foreign investment in Egypt's history. It will transform Ras El Hekma into a waterfront city about the size of Washington, D.C., with a carefully divided layout. The coastal district will be packed with luxury resorts, high-end hotels, and entertainment centers. This area alone will feature residential buildings capable of housing 2 million people. The central zone will preserve the region's traditional agriculture, continuing the farming of olives and figs. The third section is planned for light industries, although the exact details of which industries will arrive are still to be finalized. Supporting all of this will be hospitals, universities, schools, and an international airport just south of the new city. The target is bold: attract 8 million tourists every year while making Ras El Hekma a permanent home for hundreds of thousands. For the Egyptian government, deals like this are about more than just tourism. They are part of a bigger strategy to encourage land sales, boost real estate demand, and funnel money back into an economy that has been under enormous pressure: the high-speed rail revolution. But there's one big challenge when it comes to creating new cities in remote deserts: accessibility. These coastal hubs have long been considered too far from Egypt's main population centers. That's why a core part of Vision 2030 is the creation of the country's first high-speed rail system. In 2021, Egypt's National Authority of Tunnels signed a $4.5 billion contract with Siemens Mobility to build the first section of a network that will eventually cover 1,800 kilometers. This initial line, called the Green Line, will link Ain Sokhna on the Red Sea with Alexandria on the Mediterranean, passing right through new destinations like New Alamein and Ras El Hekma before ending at Marsa Metro. A year later, 2 more lines were announced. The Blue Line will stretch from Cairo to Aswan along the Nile and ultimately extend into Sudan. The Red Line will connect Luxor with the port city of Safaga. The entire project is expected to cost around $23 billion, and once complete, it will serve 60 cities with a combination of high-speed passenger trains, regional trains, and freight lines. Trains will run at speeds of 230 kilometers per hour, cutting travel times in half. Officials expect the system will carry around 30 million passengers a year. Beyond convenience, this rail system is designed to reshape Egypt's environmental footprint. If successful, it could give 90% of Egyptians access to rail and reduce the country's transport emissions by up to 70%. That's a huge shift in a country that currently relies heavily on road travel. The El Dabaa nuclear power plant. Of course, with new cities, millions of new residents, and a high-speed rail system comes a massive increase in energy demand. For years, Egypt has depended on natural gas as its main source of electricity. But in the coastal town of El Dabaa, a game-changing project is rising: Egypt's first nuclear power plant. This $30 billion project is being built in partnership with Russia, under an agreement first signed in 2015. Construction faced delays, with permits only granted in 2022 after the COVID-19 pandemic, but progress is now moving ahead. The site will eventually include 4 nuclear units. The first is scheduled to begin operating in 2026, and by 2030, all 4 will be online. When fully operational, El Dabaa will provide around 10% of Egypt's total electricity capacity, enough to power 4 million homes. It is expected to create thousands of jobs and support Egypt's industrial development, while also diversifying its energy mix. For a country aiming to present itself as modern and sustainable, nuclear energy is a cornerstone of that plan. The Suez Canal Economic Zone. Not all of Egypt's megaprojects are brand new cities. Some are expansions of existing strategic assets, and none is more important than the Suez Canal. Since its opening in 1869, the canal has been one of the world's most critical trade routes. Today, Egypt is developing the surrounding region into the Suez Canal Economic Zone, established in 2015. Covering an area more than twice the size of Washington, D.C., the zone is designed to become a global trading hub, bridging east and west. It already includes industries such as textiles, solar energy, logistics, and tire manufacturing. So far, it has created around 100,000 jobs, and the growth isn't slowing. In March 2023, a $1.7 billion agreement was signed to construct a new metal industries complex in Sakna. This site will include 9 factories and generate another 8,000 jobs. To date, about $6 billion in foreign investment has flowed into the zone, with more projects expected, including new container berths at East Port Said. The Suez Canal Economic Zone shows how Egypt isn't only focused on tourism and real estate, but also on turning its geographic position into a magnet for global trade and industrial growth. The new administrative capital. Among all of Egypt's projects, one stands above the rest in both scale and symbolism: the new administrative capital, or NAC. Located 45 kilometers east of Cairo, this mega city carries a staggering price tag of $58 billion. Its stated purpose is to relieve Cairo, one of the most congested and polluted cities on Earth, by shifting government offices and millions of residents to a brand new location. The NAC is designed to house 6.5 million people, roughly a quarter of Cairo's population. The master plan includes an airport larger than London Heathrow, a Central Park double the size of New York's Central Park, and even a theme park 4 times larger than Disneyland. While not all of these elements are complete, construction has already delivered some landmark achievements. The city now features Africa's largest mosque, an Olympic-sized sports city, and the continent's tallest skyscraper. It also houses the new presidential palace, parliament, government ministries, and the planned headquarters of the defense ministry. In other words, it is becoming the new political and administrative heart of Egypt. Whether moving the government out of Cairo will fully solve the city's problems remains uncertain, but the new administrative capital demonstrates Egypt's determination to create cities of global stature. A $170 billion future. Taken together, these projects paint a picture of a country in transformation, New Alamein, Ras El Hekma, El Daba, the Suez Canal Zone, the high-speed rail network, and the new administrative capital represent investments of more than $170 billion. For Egypt, this is not just about buildings and infrastructure. It is about reshaping its image, securing its economic future, and giving its people a chance at a better quality of life. Of course, questions remain. Can the economy sustain such enormous spending? Will ordinary Egyptians see real benefits from these projects? And will Egypt truly succeed in competing with destinations like Greece, Italy, or Dubai? What's certain is that Egypt has put its vision into motion. The cranes are rising, the tracks are being laid, and the sands of the desert are being turned into glass towers and coastal resorts. By 2030, the Egypt the world knows today could be unrecognizable. So, what do you think of Egypt's grand plan? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.